never gonna see this on any mainstream news.
This ain't what you want, this is what you need.
Can't never forget.
Yeah, they made us slaves, hung our kids from trees.
I never forget.
Nooses on our neck, whipped us till we bleed.
And they gotta get it.
Hey man, call it Galatians 3:13.
Woo.
You're now tuned in to Precept upon Precept.
Crew so strange. Look at how low they hang. Oh man, took out the chains. So when the wind blow, we just swing. Much oppression, never kill 'em.
Israel United in Christ. We are not a hate group. We are affiliated with an Israelite group. It is a non. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Like Shemaiah says, Most High in Christ bless. Captain Shemaiah always repeats himself. I don't know why he does it twice, but all praise to the Most High. Welcome to another edition, Precept upon Precept. And y'all, we are in a new location, which all praise to the Most High. We are your hosts. My name is Captain Shem.
Officer Micah.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Solomon.
Yeah, I'm running behind schedule today. I jammed everybody up. The tech team now has problems because of Captain Shem. I'll take the blame for that. No problem. Let's go ahead and pull up the Booster Club. Is it just online? Do me a favor. Type online if it sounds like maybe it's just in the building. Do our mics sound all right to y'all? Can you give us a thumbs up? Oh, it's in the building. So they good? Okay, it's just in the building. All right, we good to go. Booster Club, donate. We appreciate y'all. We got missions right now throughout the world that are going on because of brothers and sisters, faithful men and women like y'all. So what we're going to do, like we always do, we're going to go to Officer Micah with the Watchman Report. Take it away.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ. Man, that's loud. All praises to the Most High. Not going to hold up the show. Let's see what's going on in the world today. Let's go. There's a lot of news going around about this. Breakfast Club host back Snoop Dogg raising concern over LGBTQ themes in kids' movie. His granddaughter or grandson asked him about a certain thing going in the movie. It was a woman and a woman. He said, "Granddad, how did they have a baby?" And he spoke out about it. Now they want to cancel him. Shout out to Disney. Israeli tanks close in on Gaza City. Trump to chair meeting. That place looks like a landfill over there right now. They are tearing everything up. Next article, please. Polish president's decision to veto aid to Ukrainian refugees prompts political storm. This was a good read. Y'all check this out. Some good stuff in there. This one here, these tariffs are causing all kind of problems. U.S. tariffs on Brazil will reshape global beef trade flows, analysis say. That's going to cause some problems. And this concludes the Washington Report.
All right, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Officer Solomon, we got a live 3D thumbnail. What's going on right there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, if you look to the right of Trump, it's Trump's time. Edom's elite executive enforcer. So we see that you have all the chaos that's going on to the right of him, and then you have the ice raids and chaos to the left of him. Once it freezes, you can kind of see where the ICE troops or enforcers are actually hemming up Northern Kingdom, and he's holding his great executive order. It's so great. It's wonderful. So,
Hey, this is creative because look, somebody. Well, I think Officer Mikhail may have done this. Whoever did this is awesome because you type certain things in, and AI generates based upon what you type in, the input data. But you got the helicopters. Basically, you see, this is what they call the police state. But what Trump is doing is he's using at a federal level to bring in troops, and to also he can control the state troops as well. So look up the word tech, guys. Look up the word Gestapo. Officer Yasser brought it out last week. Gestapo. I want to look up the word Gestapo. And we're in a new place. This is really strange. We're not used to this setup yet. So I'm supposed to look in that camera right there. So let's look up the word Gestapo. Can we show that on the screen? It's going to take us a little while to get used to this, y'all. This is really strange. It's a better setup, but I might have told them wrong. I might have told them the wrong thing. Don't worry about it. I surprised them. No, I'm not worried about it. Pull up the first one. Pull up the first one. Joe Rogan. So I was supposed to timestamp it. We're gonna watch most of it. A lot of you know Joe Rogan. He's the famous podcaster, and he's got some pretty interesting clips. They're gonna talk about now a possible U.S. invasion of Mexico. Do me a favor. Pull up a map of the Western Hemisphere. It shouldn't be hard. Just type in Western Hemisphere. Because probably 3 or 4 months ago, we showed you that Donald Trump was trying to do what? Take and make Canada the 51st state.
right,
And also, he was trying to do what? Annex Greenland.
right.
So if you have Canada, Greenland, they already have Alaska, what do you have? All of North America. Now, I like that. By the way, Esau doesn't know what he's doing because Greenland on this map looks almost the size of Africa. You could fit many, many, many Greenlands inside of Africa. This is it's given from a European Caucasian perspective, even their maps. Africa is so much bigger than Greenland, right?
Yes, sir.
They say Greenland's bigger than South America. That's BS. So let's take a look at the map. Tech guy, point to Greenland. So Donald Trump has history, and we're going to bring it up tonight. He wanted to take Greenland from either Norway or the Netherlands, excuse me. There's an ongoing thing when he first got to be president of Canada, going to be the 51st state. We're going to give you the Golden Dome. It'll be free. If you go with us, free. If you don't, you got to pay. You got to pay to play. Then Alaska, they took that in the early 20th century, which is the early 1900s or late 1800s. There's in and out. Is that just for us in here? Okay. All right, we got to have mercy on the tech team. This is the first night. We started 15 minutes late because that's all Captain Shem's fault. I was late. Now, this article, this video with Joe Rogan, Donald Trump's objective is to take over the entire, leave the map, I'm sorry. He wants to take over the entire Western Hemisphere. If we take a line, that means Greenland, North America, to include Alaska, Canada, all of Mexico, which Mexico is North America. Central America is all of the countries, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama. And he's now trying to war with South America. And if I'm Esau, right, And I realized that my slip of power is slipping in the section of the East with Russia, India, China, and all the BRICS. What am I going to do? I'm going to fortify the other half of the world. So play Joe Rogan. Remember this concept tonight. Play Joe Rogan. Y'all got to be with us tonight. We are getting used to everything.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
You have this cartel now that is, you have El Mayo Zambada is gone. El Chapo's sons are cutting a deal. One of them apparently has made an alliance with the head of the new generation cartel, a man by El Mencho. His nickname is El Mencho. Nemesio Segueda Cervantes is his real name. Last time I was here, there was this almost 5 years ago that I was here. There were questions about if he was even alive or not. People thought he was being kept alive as this folk figure because he's low key.
Don't put it on me. Just leave it here, please. Remember, under Joe Biden's presidency, millions and millions of illegal, when we say illegal, we're talking about Esau terms, came through the borders of the United States, the most lapsed border policy in the history of this country. So for all that time, people came from all parts of the earth through the Mexican border to come here. And now Donald Trump it's a war on terror. Well, if it's a war on terror, why are you not going after every single country that has terrorists? Why not go after this terrorist that come in from England? This terrorist that come to this country from European countries? It's because of his position he wants to fortify in the Western Hemisphere. I want you to remember that. So he's going to keep talking about the cartel. The cartel's been dealing with for dozens and dozens of years in this country. And now, why all of a sudden we want to go to war with Mexico? This is what he's talking about.
Very low key, he's not flashy. Everything's militarized. He's very good at his tradecraft. But recently, he's very much alive. He's very much exposed himself a few times. He was almost arrested recently, and the federal police apparently tipped off his security about the operation against him. It's the second time he was almost arrested. He's the biggest target right now in Mexico. We recently learned through the...
I'm sorry, in the interest of time, how long is this video? Okay. Skip ahead to 4 minutes, please. I did not timestamp this. I usually have everything timestamped.
Approval. He said, well, if you start fighting the cartels without approval of the Mexican government, you will turn criminal organizations into freedom fighters.
You heard what he just said? Who wants to break that down? What he just said is heavy. Think about what did he just say?
He said, if you start fighting cartels without the approval of the Mexican government, you will turn criminal organizations into freedom fighters.
Right.
That's heavy.
But think about that. So Donald Trump, so in other words, can you imagine another country? Let's say there's a bunch of nietas and all gangs here. And Mexico decided because some of our citizens are dying, we're going to go attack your gangs in America or any other country without even getting permission from the government of the United States. That's madness. Trump is talking about doing that right now. They're not even going to, he's talking about sending Delta Force operators and SEAL Team 6 operators, which are the elite of special forces, to fight the cartel.
Hey, Cap.
Bring it out.
Remember when they first started the ICE raids, Issachar was getting together having those rallies, and there was a certain song that they were playing on those shorts on TikTok, and the song was actually saying, La Raza, which, we're family, we're blood, this is our land, we're proud. So if they start fighting with these cartels and they start seeing them as freedom fighters,
right,
what's going to happen here? Those same group of Issacharites that were at those rallies is going to start rising up against the government here.
It's a very similar thing right now, the way that Israel is attacking Hamas and the Houthis in their countries. Mm-hmm. Because in Libya, which is north of Israel, they have, who is it? It's not Hamas, it's Hezbollah. Hezbollah is in Libya. they're saying that Hezbollah is not representing the government of what's the word, of the Lebanon, right?
Right.
So Israel attacked Hezbollah without the permission of the Lebanese government. That's why they're freedom fighters in the eyes of the people.
Right.
So, but here's the thing about all this. God is putting it in Trump to do these things. What he's doing is crazy. Just like with Pharaoh. He's like, hey, listen, they destroyed our arm. The Red Sea opened up. The plagues, they destroyed our magicians. Pharaoh, like, they left, let them go. No, we're going to go after them. That's the same power that God is putting in the mind of Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald J. Trump. That's what he's doing right now. Go ahead, Micah.
To your point, Cap, there is a movie. They declassified a mission. It was called Act of Valor. And they were all down. These were SEALs. You can look this up. This is a mission they declassified. They were down in the U.S.-Mexican border. These SEALs were down there shooting up, and they were getting busy, and they were fighting back. You can look it up. That movie right there, you can see it. They literally were down there fighting against the cartel. They changed some things up to make it seem as though you can look at the plot. They were down by the Mexico border, and when they went in there, it was bad. This is a pretty decent movie if you like action, but it shows a lot of what Cap's bringing out.
Pull up the thumbnail, because a lot has gone down since the last show. And look, shout out to the tech team. There's a lot of stuff. It's a new environment. It is what it is. We're going to get through it. So I was thinking about the show on Sunday, what I'm going to name this show. And if you look at the title, it's Trump Time. Edom'S Elite Executive Enforcer. Donald Trump is using his executive power to make changes that God wants to make happen. So get me Romans chapter 12. And it speaks about not a terror to good works. Because even in the midst of all the things that's happening, with a lot of our brothers from Northern Kingdom actually getting deported out. Some going to get deported to different countries, not even where they're from. And there's also our brothers from the West Indies, the Caribbean, who also are going to be detained and deported. Amongst all of that, we have to keep being the commandment keepers we're supposed to be, and the Lord's going to shield us even during this time when he comes to a police state and they really start getting on us. Read verse 12, something like that.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 3.
That's right. You on point.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
Donald Trump is ruling at the executive level to the point where he already sent troops in, the National Guard of California, the United States Marine Corps, into Los Angeles, which is the second largest city in the U.S. Recently, he just deployed, I think, 1,500 U.S. Army National Guardsmen to the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. Now he's talking about the third biggest city is Chicago, and then Baltimore, then New York. He's talking about doing these things right now. And this has been about 6 months into a little bit more than 6 months into his presidency. Pull up the term Gestapo. Thank you. I pronounced it wrong. Gestapo. Officer Yasa pulled this out last week. We are entering into, and here's the thing. Read that again, Solomon, because if we keep in the commandments and doing what we're supposed to, we should not fear this. We should not be worried about this. Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 3.
Start at 1.
Verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Unfortunately, well, for whatever, we live in the United States of America. We are going to be subject to the laws that Donald Trump makes at an executive level. You have no choice. Why? Because God set it all up. Just like we had to bow down to Nebuchadnezzar. Well, we didn't bow down to the gods in the book of Daniel, but we were subject to the king's laws. Okay, read.
For there is no power but of God.
So Donald Trump and his executive power, his Gestapo state, this police state, God is setting it up to try the Israelites and to ultimately bring on Armageddon. or the Valley of Megiddon, which is World War III. Read.
Whosoever therefore resists the power.
Right, so you want to bug out and start act all like a lot of these Edomites are joining they're trying to break up ICE raids and trying to get in the midst of the investigation and put their body in front. Don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. A lot of these brothers, and we don't want them to get deported. We wish they could stay here and work and be productive citizens, but God is making it happen. So when you see Northern Kingdom get deported, hopefully, give me Hosea 5:15 when it says about in their affliction, they shall seek me early. These things are, if you're not spiritually discerned, this is very upsetting to blacks and Latinos, blacks and Hispanics. No, Latinos, I said it right. Zeph corrected me on that. It's not Hispanics, we say Latinos, okay? Read.
The book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15.
Captain Zeph, read.
I will go and return to my place.
This is talking about the Most High, the same God who in Romans 13 says there is no power but of God. Read.
Acknowledge my offense.
And that's the thing. Many of our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters for years think that they pass as Esau or that they're not going to be treated in a way that black Americans have been treated. They're learning out the hard way. And they're learning out they're going to have to turn back to God. And that's where we come in. That's where 12 tribes worldwide, that's where, shout out to Captain Abiel, brothers moving to these different countries. Moving to places where it's not, a lot of these places don't have running water in every single place. They don't have septic like we do or sewer systems like we do. They don't have modern lighting where it stays on almost all the time. Some of us are going to have to go to these places and use our status to be able to help them build. So you brothers get your passports, get your affairs in order. I tell these brothers in New Orleans all the time, get your debt to income ratio low. So you don't have a car payment. If you can pay your house off, you don't need a big giant house. So you have very low bills and higher income. So if something happens at your job, you're going to be all right. Or if you need to move or go put in work and go help, Bishop needs men to travel, or IUIC, we need men to travel under the leadership of Bishop Nathaniel, Bishop Yawasop, and Bishop Kanai. We're ready to move out. Okay? Read.
Till they acknowledge their offense.
And that's what they got. They got to acknowledge the fact that they've been sinning under doggone white Jesus, the Catholic Church. A lot of these Mexican Hondurans, and they're in. I was today, right today, sister's house, black sister from Honduras, dark like Solomon. Sister talking about, I'm not American, I'm from Honduras. Oh, cool. So I'm going through her house. I'm not saying any names. She got white Jesus all over her house. So that Catholic Church demon is strong. This sister was 70 years old, strong in our people. Strong. That's all they know. God is going to shake their very existence up for them to say this, why, God? Why are you doing this to me? And that's when we come in. This is where they need to see the teachers. They need to see what we're talking about. They need to feel our that's why what I realized a long time ago, I say to myself, I said, Father, why do you put your men through so much things? I said, like, damn, I use myself. Why am I being put through so much in my life? It's because God is preparing me for something big. So you cannot understand how to train men up and how to deal at a very large level unless you've been, sometimes you got to go through hell and back and survive. It's a mental trial. It's a trial of health. It's a trial of losing people. It's a trial of feeling powerless. And you have to go through all of that. And you have to still keep pushing. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm talking way too doggone much. Joe Rogan, the point with that whole thing was, like Mickey brought out, is that if you attack a cartel, come on, man, it can't be that. Come on. If you attack a cartel, 1, 2, how is it? That make no sense. If you attack a cartel without the permission of a government, like right now, type in, what is the reward for Maduro? We brought out last week, President Maduro, who is the legitimate president in Venezuela, which, by the way, we pulled out last week. It is the number one sitting on oil reserves in the world, even more than Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia. That's what the chart pulled up. They're saying, what is the reward for Maduro? It's $50 million. That's what it is, $50 million. He is the legitimate president. The U.S. is saying, nope, he's illegitimate. Here's $50 million, whoever, anybody can bring him to us. Read that.
As of August 2025,
That's what the month we're in right now.
As of August 2025, the U.S. government is offering a reward of up to $50 million.
You do understand that this is 100% illegal? $50 million, the U.S. government, which is backed by the President of the United States, is issuing a bounty of $50 million for a president that actually was elected in their country. It's madness. Read on.
For information leading to the arrest and or conviction of Nicolas Maduro.
So that means, let's think about this logically. If he's the president of Venezuela, how would they arrest him?
I was thinking that.
Type in United States Green Berets. Type that in. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. If they send a United States U.S. Army Green Beret counterintelligence, counterinsurgency, they will go in and train up guerrillas, train up fighters in special forces training tactics to go then and create a illegitimate government to go topple and then bring him to. Type in it. What is the mission of the United States Army Special Forces Green Berets? Type that in. I know a brother that was a Green Beret. He didn't even look like he was a real smart guy. Smart guy. Read the mission of the United States Army Green Beret. Green Beret is just the cover they wear. They got brown berets. They got Green Berets. It's a special. Read that.
The mission of U.S. Army Green Berets is to conduct specialized operations, including unconventional warfare and foreign internal defense.
Foreign internal defense. Think about that. Foreign means outside of the U.S., so foreign internal defense, meaning you're going to go to a foreign country, you're going to set up something to do what? To defend your position. It's crazy. Read on.
Along with other special missions such as direct action, special reconnaissance, and combating terrorism.
Okay, read on. These highly
trained soldiers are experts in foreign languages.
Why would they need foreign languages? Because they got to go and be able to communicate with the locals of the land so they can set up and take over infrastructure. That's the mission of them. We had to pull up. I got to do this. I have to do this. Pull up Tim Kennedy's interview with Tim Kennedy's interview on. God damn it! What the hell is the guy name? It should be. It was. I played it before. He literally tells you what they do. He was Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy. Is that Joe? Let me see. No, that's the one someone breaks in his house. Oh, gosh. Type in Tim Kennedy's something definition of Green Beret. Something like that. I want to show you that in action. By the way, Tim Kennedy was, I like the guy, but he was a mixed martial arts fighter. He became, I think he was with Ranger Battalion. I think then he went to Green Berets, and then he became a Delta Force operator. That might be it. I think this is it.
What it takes to be a Green Beret.
Yes.
That's it.
This might not be it. This is too short, but I got to see this. This is not it. Let's see what he says.
Through our selection process, we have a very, during the Special Forces qualifying course. Before that, you have the Special Forces assessment and the selection. And during the selection, there's a specific week that's called Team Week. And
this is not it. There's one. Well, anyways, that talks about the training. It's very hard training. But the point is, there's an interview when he actually admits. He says, "You drop 6 of us, or you drop a detail of us, and within 6 months, we'll have 5 wives. We'll control the electric company, and we'll take over the government." That's their mission. So when Donald Trump, now go back to what I forget what I had you. Yes, Read what's in blue again, please. I had to deviate.
The mission of the U.S. Army Green Berets is to conduct specialized operations, including unconventional warfare and foreign internal defense.
Foreign internal defense. Just think about the wording of that. Read on.
Along with other special missions such as direct action.
Direct action, read on.
Special reconnaissance.
You have to recon to find out what's going on in that foreign land before you figure out whose you can turn on and who's unhappy with this, and before you can make your connection points. Read on.
And combating terrorism.
Interesting. That's good, Solomon. Let's go. We're going to move on. Go to number, I don't want to see ice. Let's see this. Yes, number 3. So we talked about last week about Venezuela. There's a fleet of amphibious ships, U.S. Navy warships, a submarine, which is a Tier 1 tactical nuclear submarine, and hundreds, if not thousands, of U.S. Marines ready to deploy. Us, you're going to have Air Force support. Now, in that, Madero's, well, they said that 4.5 million local militia rose up to back up Venezuela. Now, there's another country that's coming to the backing of Venezuela. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're next on the list. Remember the Western Hemisphere? Donald Trump is starting all of this. God's put in his heart so that he can bring hell on all these Latin American countries. He's going to bring hell on them. Read that. It's an article or a video?
It's an article.
Read that.
Financial Times. U.S. naval buildup near Venezuela stokes tension in Latin America. Deployment of warships and thousands of sailors prompts Nicolas Maduro to call up militia.
Right. Come on.
The Pentagon is deploying warships to waters around Central and South America. An unusually large naval buildup that has stoked tensions with Venezuela and other Latin American countries.
Latin American countries. Again, remember, the most powerful, type in BRICS real quick. Just pull up anything with BRICS on it, please. Anything with BRICS. The largest economy, the largest country in South America is Brazil. So isn't it interesting how now the U.S. is doing these things? So in BRICS, I just want them at home who might not be familiar, BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now they have many other partner nations, and one of them is Argentina that was on the cusp. Look, here, perfect. Look at this. Look at them all. These are all countries that are Indonesia. That was the most recent one. Okay, the key is Brazil for this particular show. Brazil. Now, remember that. Pull up a map of South America or the Western Hemisphere is fine. World map. Okay. So if you look, if Donald Trump basically controls Greenland, Canada has nothing to say. They have no power. Donald Trump is talking about starting a war with the cartel, like this week. And then scroll down. Look at Venezuela, the top orange country in South America. Look at Colombia, the purple country. We're going to read an article about Colombia. Brazil is where one of the main targets is. If you can control that, you control most of South America. And they're going to continue to go down. And this is what's going to happen. And all of our people that are in Central and South America, to include Mexico, they are going to see and they are going to learn to turn back to God. And when they're going to look for their white God to save them in Catholicism, they're going to realize that nobody's there to save you. That you're going to realize who your enemies truly are, and then you're going to realize that these curses are talking about you too. And it's happening right now. Let's go back to the article. The one we just had it up. There we go.
Financial Times. The U.S. Navy has sent at least 7 vessels, including 3 guided missile destroyers, an amphibious assault ship, and a guided missile cruiser. According to people familiar with the matter, a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine has also been deployed, according to one person.
That means they have the ability to shoot a nuclear warhead if they needed to, if they wanted to, right? Read on.
The Trump administration has billed the move, which involves thousands of sailors and Marines.
So they've got the sailors of the U.S. Navy and the United States Marines on those ships, okay? And Officer Michael talked about last week because he was in charge of moving personnel and equipment. That's a major undertaking,
That's
Officer
a big
Michael.
operation.
Break that down. For you to move warships,
That's a big operation.
to move a sub, to remove amphibious assault ships, Marines, sailors.
Just
please talk about that.
Just the fuel alone, because Cap, when you touched on the Green Berets, those guys are not kicking indoors.
Right.
Like you can train. They say you can train anybody to fire around. Like that's where your Marines come in. Them Green Berets and guys, them guys are trained to think. They're the think guys that go in there to figure out how to. They go in that reconnaissance. I guarantee them guys was walking around over there with beards on, and they sent that intel back before those guys even got on them ships and went over there. That's how detailed it is. The information that they getting, those ships, how they know where to go, where to dock, how many to send, how many rations. They think all that stuff through. Those Green Berets, they have a. That's why I said other those special assignments and stuff like that. All that intel was fed back to those ships, to those generals and everything before that ink even hit the paper.
And the CIA, which is the Central Intelligence Agency, when you do research, the CIA has their own special forces team, which they're elite. Like you have different operators. You have regular Army, Navy, Marine Corps, all of them, and that's then within each one you have like Army has the most. They have Army Rangers. Ranger Battalion, they have Army Special Forces, which are Green Berets. Then they have what they call a Delta operator. The Marine Corps has what they call Marine Corps Reconnaissance. Then they also have Marine Corps Raiders, which was just introduced like less than 10, 15 years ago. Then you're the Navy, they have the Navy SEALs. Within the SEALs, you have SEAL Team 6, which is the elite of the elite. Then you have Air Force, Pararescue. These guys are like super medics that jump out of planes. Then you have the, I think that's pretty much.
But Cap, to that point, this would be considered what they call a joint operation. Out of all of those forces, like they're just giving you they're not going to give you the specifics. But I guarantee you, detachments from everything Captain just brought out is on that ship. It's that detailed, that big of an operation. They said, I want some from the Army. I need some from the Marines. I also need the JTAC guys from the Air Force to monitor the air. They got all of that. That's probably a multi-billion-dollar operation right there.
Billions of dollars are being spent. And so this is why we know that, listen, they're about to get touched. Now the article's going into, this is where Jake is going to come together. They're realizing, hold up, Maduro is our president in Venezuela. And you're saying that here's a $50 million reward? We know you're coming for him. Yep. They said 4 million people rose up in a citizens militia. Now Colombia is like, wait a minute. We just like, remember Chavez said, the devil was here, I smell sulfur when he talked about George Bush. And what happened to him? What happened to him, man? Chavez was a man of the people. Same thing with this. Anytime a leader stands up for his people, the U.S. is going to topple him. And they use these counterintelligence to do that. Now, let's continue reading on. We're doing a short show tonight. Read.
As part of its efforts to combat drug trafficking by cartels, the White House has used increasingly hostile rhetoric about Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, referring to him as illegal and accusing him of trafficking drugs.
This is how stupid that Esau believes we are. Do me a favor. Type in, when was Nicolas Maduro elected president of Venezuela? Because he actually is the legitimate president. So the U.S. is so powerful and so arrogant. If they don't like you, they'll just say you're illegitimate. He can't control just like the U.S. has drugs that move in and out of the streets of our neighborhood and the ports, right? They got Chinese gang, they got Russian gangs here in the U.S., they got Latin kings, many different gangs in the U.S., in different cities. So if they did damage in different parts of Mexico, that's like us trying to go over there and attack them. Maduro's is not behind gang warfare. It just happens to be that a lot of the cartels and drug dealers and gangs run out of his country. So because they want to use it for either oil or leverage to put pressure on Brazil to create more military bases in Venezuela, because they want to do that, they're going to make things up. And guess what? Because they got the muscle, it's going to stick. God's given them the muscle. Read that.
Nicolas Maduro was first elected president of Venezuela on April 14th, 2013, after the death of his predecessor, Hugo Chavez.
Remember Hugo Chavez, right? He was a man of the people. Maduro was in his court. This is like 12-something years ago, right? Remember this. He was elected. He's been the president for at least 10 years, right? 10, 12 years. Okay? Read on.
The election result was highly contested by the opposition, but Maduro was inaugurated on April 19, 2013.
So it was a close election. There's close elections in the U.S., right? So how come no one's coming to the U.S. and saying, why the hell did George Bush get in power? Why not Al Gore? Why the hell did Donald Trump lose the election and Joe Biden won? How come no one's coming to looking to put a $50 million reward on Joe Biden's head? It just shows you that Esau runs this entire earth, and he's about to put some pressure on the northern kingdom. He going to use it. Go back to the article. We're going to move on soon.
Asked whether the U.S. was planning to deploy troops. Was that no, Maduro. Maduro called up militiamen in response to the U.S. deployment, while Colombian President Gustavo Petro.
Remember that name? The Colombian President Gustavo Petro. Pull up the map of the Western Hemisphere. No one's talking about this. Not mainstream. If I am trying to conquer that side of the world, I'm going to deal with Venezuela first, because look at you could spring forth. They got oil and resources. Now look at Colombia. If I could control Colombia and Venezuela, I could cut off the Central American Pass of Panama. And now I've got bases in Cuba. I got bases in the Caribbean. Now I can launch an attack to go down to Brazil. And I'm going to tell you right now, Donald Trump is not playing. He's not playing with nobody. Okay? Go back to the article.
Maduro called up militiamen in response to the U.S. deployment, while Colombian President Gustavo Petro has suggested his country's armed forces could support Venezuela if it is attacked.
Just by making that claim is a problem. It's already a problem. Okay, read on.
Asked whether the U.S. was planning to deploy troops in Venezuela, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said last week that Trump was prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country.
Right, so he's using it based upon a war on drugs, and America's children are being hit with fentanyl, and it's all the big bad South American and Central American, Mexico's fault. Read on.
She added that Maduro was not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive, head of this cartel, she said.
So they're saying the president of Venezuela is the head of the cartel. And when you say that enough, the American public, all you got to do is win popular opinion, the court of popular appeal. And when they fight wars, then we got to go fight him because he's the head of the cartel. We got to go fight. We got to go take him down. Read on.
Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said the U.S. counter-narcotics effort needed a whole of government effort and thorough coordination with regional partners.
Okay, that was it. I just wanted to show y'all that Colombia is now going to try to back up Venezuela, and it's not being talked about. Again, the issue is Brazil. Brazil is the issue. Brazil is the B in BRICS. What time is it? Go to 10 minutes to break. Go to not the CDC seeking death. What's that? Trump. Nope. Let me see. Go to. Hang on.
I kept looking. Look at
Bring it up.
look at what Venezuela is known for natural resource wise. This will tell you everything, because we know what Micah 2:2 say. They covet fields and they take it by violence. It ain't about drugs. Just look up their natural resources. Take 2 seconds.
It never was about drugs.
It was never about drugs. There we go.
Venezuela's natural resources are dominated by vast oil and
By what?
by vast oil and natural gas reserves.
You remember that pipeline they blew up? We touched on a few shows back. Y'all remember the pipeline? What was the name of it? Remember Joe
North
Smoking
Stream.
Joe? He blew
North
up the
Stream.
pipeline, North Stream pipeline. How much is natural gas cost now to ship? And who is profiting off of that natural gas?
Oh shoot! Do me a favor. Just can we, Akim? Can we? I got something from the New York Post that just came in. They had a violent exchange. Oh Lord! It says wild brawl erupts between Mexican politicians over U.S. military intervention against drug cartels. It's from the. Let's see if I can forward it to you. NewYorkPost.com. This just came in. I'm gonna forward it to
Oh, there it is.
Precept upon Precept, General. See if you can see that. Pull up the New York Post after Micah goes into that.
That's the pipeline supplying all that natural gas. And they came out and said, yeah, we're going to blow it up. We're going to sever the pipeline. They and didn't care. Blew it up. Now, I think somebody posted an article earlier in the week about how much a load of natural gas costs, and upwards of billions of dollars just to ship it.
Right.
And who profited off of that?
So remember we were talking before about how Donald Trump was talking about attacking the cartels, right? And one of the statements in the Joe Rogan podcast was, if you attack the cartel without permission of the Mexican government, you make, Mikhail, what was it called? You make freedom fires. So this is article. Wild brawl erupts between Mexican politicians. So if they're beefing, this is the Mexican, not the U.S. politicians. Some of them want what? They want U.S. military intervention, and some don't. So watch this. This just happened 3 hours ago. I hope they show some video.
Oh, look like it.
A wild brawl erupted in the Mexican Senate between two senior politicians following a heated debate over whether
Let's just read. We'll come back to the video. We know tonight is going to be a little tough.
It should be it right there.
over whether U.S. forces should intervene in the country's fight against drug cartels.
So some of the senior Senate, Mexican senatemen, right, the Senate members of the House, Senate, they, oh no, hey, what are you doing here? Hey, let him in, let him kick the cartel's rear end. One of the guy, what are you talking about? Why are we going to let another military come in and try to attack the cartel? Okay. So, okay, maybe it doesn't show a video, but that's actually, they're actually physically, they're throwing, looks like he's grabbing his throat. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
He's got his hand up. He's grabbing his by his throat, okay? Looks like maybe he threw a punch or slapped the crap out of him. Look, right there. This is today. Today. So what Donald Trump's, just his words alone, God is working through men, has other Mexican people in high positions fist fighting because some are greatly opposed to it, some are not. And what do you think is going to happen? The ones that do vote for it, I wonder if they're going to get rewarded. I wonder if they'll be taken care of. That's interesting. So there's a lot going on in the minds of what's happening. And some of these brothers in Mexico, they're like, we don't want the U.S. involved. Same thing with all in Venezuela. They don't want the U.S. to come and try to attack the cartel. That's their country. Okay? Yeah. Just like same thing in Colombia. The Colombia's like, look, our military will stand with you, Venezuela. Again, God is using Trump and God is using the U.S. to create all this chaos so the U.S. will be completely isolated from everybody, and then they all will separate from the U.S. It's going to happen. It's happening now. Is there a video? We can't play it. No worries. No worries at all. All right. This is what we're going to do. Bring it out, Solomon.
Hey, Cap, I was just wondering, because we was talking about the arrogance of the United States, right?
Yes, sir.
And so it made me think about Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. So their arrogance is actually going to be brought down. This is actually a foretelling of what's going to happen, but we're seeing it now in real time. We're seeing the arrogance of the United States going against Venezuela, as well as trying to take over Canada and all these other countries. So, I mean, we see this thing in real time, the arrogance of the United States, Babylon the Great. And so when I saw that, I was when you was bringing out all the other stuff, it made me think about that scripture.
And that's heavy, because for them to, you just got to, anytime you think, you have to put it in perspective. Just imagine how Russia is fighting the Ukraine because of the constant encroachment towards the Russian border. In 1962 or 61, there was a thing called the Cuban Missile Crisis. Y'all know about it. Russia had a foothold in Cuba, which is about 100-some miles off the coast of Florida. Can you imagine if somebody came to the U.S. talking about, we're going to attack your gangs because of what they're doing to some of our Mexican citizens? Do you know that the U.S. would bomb? It wouldn't even be, it would be. So how do you think that the people in Venezuela, how do you think they're going to feel? But what's going to happen is there's nothing they can do about it. Once God sets his mind on this guy, Donald Trump, because the prophecy is going to come true, they are going to seek God's face after their affliction.
Right, right.
Yes. There's a video. This just came in. We got a video.
Horas con 12 minutos con la entonación del
They made it seem worse than that, but okay. All right, well, it's getting heated. It's getting heated. So look, when we come back, we're gonna this show tonight, short show tonight. Forgive me, y'all. Came about 15 minutes late. When we come back, we're gonna focus on what's happening stateside, domestically with ICE and how they're raiding Northern Kingdom here. So it's happening abroad, internationally, in different countries where the U.S. is propelling their pomp and their arrogancy and their international might, and it's happening right here in the U.S. So we come back from the show after, Yas is not here. Yas not here tonight. So we'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll get into the second half of the show. So y'all stick around. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Why do you subscribe? IUIC New Orleans, subscribe. Go to our YouTube page. Help us to grow. Comment, like, share. What's going on? Make it happen.
Jesus Christ was alive. These are God's words. I didn't write this Bible.
Christianity is garbage. Right. Just like Rastafari. God said, because you hate his commandments, we will serve the white man. The prophets of the Most High God are here in Antigua to show you brothers how to stand up and be a man. The doers of the law shall be justified. God said the doers of the law shall be justified. You must apply God's commandments.
Y'all gotta wake up. The white man is the enemy. The Arab, the Chinese, the European is the enemy, brother. If you notice something, it's been a little over an hour. Precept after precept, Bible. We don't talk Bible. You don't get this in church. Ask questions, you get it answered right now. Praise God. in church is just pure talk. It's a hustle. You young generation, come out that church and stop that foolishness, wasting your money. It's a hustle. They don't know the Bible. They're not on the front lines. They're not in the ghettos. We're in the ghettos throughout America, throughout the Caribbean, throughout Africa, throughout Europe. We got ran out of France. The country of France ran us out of there because we preaching the word of God. Shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless. Bishop Kanai here.
Captain Jeraham, Captain Matthew.
We're here in Antigua, and we're here at Good Morning Antigua. The black church or the Christian church have failed. It's financial gain for the most part, tithing. We go into the neighborhoods, and this is not just here in Antigua. This is throughout the earth. We're throughout Africa, throughout Europe. We go to where people are at, and we reach them, and we're trying to reach the youth to show them a better way.
Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ bless. A hurricane hit Antigua.
We expected it to become a hurricane. It did. And then we said sometime this weekend it would become a major hurricane. That forecast is progressing quickly.
And that hurricane was Israel United in Christ. We just blazed the airways of WTP radio.
Not money. It was never money, and it was given to the Levites in Jerusalem, where God ordained. The churches say the laws are done away with, right? So then why you collect tithes? Tithes is Old Testament scripture.
Well, you sort of strengthen some of my beliefs where the Bible is concerned, because I often wonder, why do we need to give money to church, to the men, whoever leading the church? I feel like we should be giving to help people who are in need.
I'll do it. Hey, shalom, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Check it out. It's Trump time, okay? Edom'S elite executive enforcer, and he's not playing. He is making his will known throughout South and Central America. Now, we're going to share what he's doing here in the United States. Pull up number, I think it's number 2. ICE is not playing games. It is, I think it's from Sky News. This is Sky News is Australian news, and this is what Trump is doing in the U.S. is being reported in many other countries. Okay, so and this is I believe it's an Australian reporter that came to the streets of D.C. and he's actually in the streets as a journalist reporting back to Australia.
On the streets of Washington, D.C., as Trump sends in National Guard.
Now, they do have a video. I don't know if we can play that.
7 a.m. in Washington's Mount
We're going to let
Pleasant
this whole thing play.
We'd set out to see for ourselves what law and order now looks like in today's America.
You don't need to do this.
We hadn't expected it would take just 5 minutes and 2 blocks to find it. But this is now happening daily.
I'm observing what you're doing. You can observe right here. Don't cross the street.
The agents are from ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, here on the orders of the president.
You have to stand up to the people who are telling you to do this because it's wrong.
Pause. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Esau can do that. They can go cry. Number one, they don't even care. They don't care about Northern Kingdom. Esau can complain to the cops. Esau can make their voice known because Esau is valued in this society. You and we cannot go don't try to go and inhibit an arrest you know nothing about. Don't get involved in that. Okay, they're going to do their job, and God's going to do his job, and God's going to order the things that are going to happen that's happened to Northern Kingdom. Unfortunately, as much as it might be painful. Now, get the definition of Gestapo earlier. You had it up. You did a great job. We never read it. If we could pull it back up. I think I'll give it about 6 weeks, Officer Akeem. I think that we'll get it. We'll get it. It's just going to take time. So read that, Solomon.
The Gestapo, Geheime Staatspolizei, was the official secret police of Nazi Germany.
So remember when Elon Musk did a weird, awkward salute, and it was on all the shows, the Breakfast Club, not Breakfast, it was on all the show with Whoopi Goldberg, and they let it go. They let it go, right? It's very interesting. So the Gestapo state is a police state. It was originally the secret police of the Nazis. So we also pointed out that what a lot of Esau is looking at ICE as Donald Trump's secret police. And they're trying to make that comparison. Okay? That's where they had signs, the Gestapo. Okay, play on. Read on. Good initiative by Elon Musk, but we're going to.
As a component of the SS, it was tasked with detecting and neutralizing actual or potential enemies of the Nazi state.
So who is the potential enemies of Trump's state? Well, number one, anybody that's an illegal alien, right? That's what he says, right? But that is not true because there are a lot of illegal aliens that are Caucasians from other countries. They're not being targeted. There are probably thousands of illegal Caucasians from different countries throughout the earth. And I would love to see the numbers and how many of them are being rounded up. We, as the Israelites, are going to be the subject of our enemies' enforcement. They are oppressing our people. Okay? Read on.
And enforcing Nazi ideology within Germany and occupied territories. The Gestapo was notorious for its widespread authority to arrest individuals without question.
If you are Hispanic in this country and you walk around, you have a slight accent, you better make sure you got your ID on you. Because they will lock your ass up and ask questions later. With the authority to arrest them, they're doing it right now. They've held some people for days at a time, and they were U.S. citizens. And guess what? They can harass you. If maybe you don't have your ID, maybe there's some technicality, and you could be in jail. Why? Because you fit the description. Read on.
And it played a key role in the implementation of the Holocaust and other Nazi crimes.
And Esau going to use that. Esau going to use the ICE, and they're going to abuse the hell. Not all of them, but they're going to abuse our people.
Hey Cap, it's in waves also. Like they stopping you on the streets when you walking. Like let's say you just walking a crosswalk. They even doing it in semi trucks. They have it now. Like these DOT little checkpoints. If you can't speak basic English, they pulling you out of the truck.
Matter of fact, if you could find something, I saw something. I forgot to post it. It was on YouTube. That they're doing just that. That you checkpoint. They have videos. That I think we pulled one Arab dude out. He had a turban on his head.
Oh, he killed like 3 people down in Miami.
And here's the thing. Some of these folks that come from, I'm not justifying, because I believe that if you move to Russia, you should speak the Russian language. If you move here, you should speak English. But some of these guys, all they might be able to do is drive trucks, and that's how they feed their families. Can you type in? Well, I forget what I was telling you to get. All right. In the meantime, go back to the video. The video is from that article. Is got a lot. Let's let that play. There's a lot of information in this video.
It's our Latino workers. It's one strand of his law and order blueprint for America.
Sir, you have someone I can call? You have a family? You want them to know?
And it is blunt. Get her out of here.
Hey, see this fake, pretentious BS? Esau is out there crying for somebody she don't even know. These guys were driving to work. They got stopped in a residential neighborhood. She's a neighbor in the neighborhood, acting like she really cares and crying, do you want me to call your family? No, you don't even know this guy. He doesn't even speak English, and you're trying to act like you care about him. They do not care about our people. And they can do that and give the cops a hard time, and they are not you black people, and you better not go do what Esau does. Don't be stupid. Okay, play on.
Here he says to a neighbor woken by the commotion.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
If you're a black woman, don't do that.
Don't do that.
If you are a senorita, don't go do that following a cop like that. She can do that because he sees her as valuable. They don't see you as valuable. Esau could do. Or I'm glad they showed us. It's such a fake ass damn reaction. Play on.
Of federal law enforcement agents into America's capital has been unprecedented, and their powers are too.
So it's just gone 20 past 7 in the morning. What appears to have happened is that the authorities have pulled over this truck here. They have detained, we think, 3 people from them. They've removed them, put them into these.
And here's the thing. A lot of our brothers, man, these guys, when you find out, he's going to tell you, one guy that owned the company, he was driving a truck. He's legitimate. They left him there. The guys that he has working for him, let me tell you something. The Mexican brothers and a lot of these brothers from the same, they're some of the hardest working, smartest, most intelligent problem solvers I've ever seen. Get me that Genesis 49. It talks about the character of Issachar. And there's one in Deuteronomy 33 as well. Give me Genesis 49 about Issachar. I don't remember where it is. It's somewhere in the teenage. But you're going to see. All you got to do is just look for Issachar. So start at 1 and then 4. Issachar has a spirit to work. And it's not just hard labor. They're smart. They're intelligent. Somebody posted in New Orleans chat about how, I think it was Officer Isaac maybe posted it, young Isaac, where they showed they were doing a drill about removing a guy from a roof, and the guy's carrying the guy down off the roof at a slope on his shoulder down a line. I couldn't believe that. Yeah. Issachar, these brothers are hardcore, and they're just awesome. They're incredible. Matter of fact, can you got that? Okay, as we get this, get that Genesis. Yes, please.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1.
Watch this.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
In the last days. We in the last days, read.
Verse 2. Gather yourselves together.
Now jump to 14. Now, so he's talking about Jacob. He's going to bring his sons together. He's going to prophesy about the last day. Read.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Issachar.
Who?
Issachar.
Read on.
Is a strong ass.
So a strong ass is talking about it's a farming animal. A donkey is a they call jackass, whatever. Very, very very dependable animal. Stubborn but dependable. Read on.
Issachar is a strong ass.
Come on.
Couching down between 2 burdens.
Couching down between 2 burdens. And they catching a burden right now. You better believe that. Read on.
And he said that.
You know what's crazy when you look at Mexico, right? They look at the U.S. as a place to flee to. But the burden that is in the U.S., and also think about Mexico. If you go to the west, you're in the Pacific Ocean. You go to the east, you're in the Caribbean. And if you go down south, there's no hope for you. They literally are stuck. They're stuck. Read.
And he saw that rest was good.
The siesta. That is a real thing. They sleep during the day. They take a nap. That is a real thing known for the so-called Mexicans. Read on.
And the land that it was pleasant.
Let me tell you, Mexico has some of the best agriculture on the planet Earth. Absolutely incredible. Okay, look at on the map. Look at all the different growing zones that they have there. That was it, Solomon. Go back to the video. Oh, you got listen.
That's it.
Let me. This is a deviation, real quick. These are our brothers. Let me tell you something. Issachar, and this is just one portion of building, the roofing industry. These guys knock out a roof in a day or two. I'm talking about, and these guys, what? Just watch. These are strong men. These are smart men. Watch this.
Está cabrona la vida en los Estados Unidos.
Now, Paul, real quick. He has no. Actually, does he have his hand on the rope? I think he has his hand on the rope. Okay. But that is look at the pitch. That's a steep pitch. He's carrying, that guy got to weigh at least 170, 180 pounds, maybe more than that. He is carrying him. Now watch what he's about to do.
Los caminos de la vida no son como nosotros pensábamos. Y es que todos los días allá afuera es una batalla, tigre. Es difícil.
Now
Esto es pa'
he don't have a rope.
No.
So he does not have a rope. Look at this, the ABC in the background. Look at the pitch downward of that angle. Watch what this man does.
Hombres, papá, no es para niños, es para hombres bien hechos a la verga. Y si necesitas un descanso, un break, hazlo. Tómate un descanso, a veces se ocupa.
Go ahead, bring it up, please.
And when people don't understand, that ain't like you. Some of us, we go to the gym, we work out. That's dead weight. That is dead weight. That's different than just, getting under there and just bench pressing.
Mm-hmm.
That's dead weight right there. That's 10 times harder than going into the gym and just lifting regular weights. And going down a ladder, that's functional strength right there.
Issachar is a powerful, powerful tribe. These men are great men. Do me a favor. I posted a video. Damn it. Type in Charleston White is ashamed of being black. He says something that's type in Charleston. What's the guy name? The short dude.
Yeah, that's it. Charleston
Is ashamed of being black because he references how for years all he did is chill with Mexicans because he liked what he saw. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen is the unity that you see with Mexicans that they have. That's a strong, strong unity they have. They're going to see that they're gonna need black people. They're gonna need us. They're gonna need all of their other kinsmen. Pull up, and if you can't find that quite yet, let's continue to play this video because we're going to be done soon.
Unmarked police vehicles here, and they will be taken away. It's causing a huge amount of upset with the locals here. Have a look.
Mask, Gestapo.
Ouch! Get out of here. Get out of here! Yeah, get out!
Get out!
They've arrested your co-workers.
Yeah. I have people, but my partners, they don't.
So here's the moral of the story. If you Northern Kingdom, you better make sure that if you have a green card, if you're here, if you have a visa, you're legal. Make sure that you carry it with you. Make sure you make, if you can do digital copies, make sure you have it on you. And if you're not and you're here illegally, you better pray to the Lord for mercy because y'all going to go through it. Y'all going to go through it. And if this is happening in one city, it's happening in many U.S. cities, and it's going to continue to happen. Okay? They are being emboldened. Well, first of all, they're being emboldened through Trump by God. God is ordaining all of this to go down. Do we have that? The Charles?
Hey, Kev, can I get a script while we
go ahead.
Wait?
Yeah.
So we saw how the Edom'S were supposedly standing up or trying to stand up for our Northern Kingdom brothers, right? Sirach chapter 12 and verse 16. Because what they do is, they put up a front. They try to pretend like they're on your side and they're trying to fight for your rights. And they standing in a whole land that they stole from our other brothers, the Northern Kingdom brothers, Gad and Reuben. All right?
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips.
An enemy. Oh, you Gestapo, you should be ashamed of yourself. That sounds sweet to the people that is actually happening to, right? Read on.
But in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Those same people are the same ones that voted for Trump. And they stand for Trump. Read on.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
So basically, the scripture actually is saying that they're going to pretend. You saw some of the Edomites on there, they was trying to pretend, it's like they was going through trauma, like it was happening to one of their family members. But it was actually a whole front. The Bible talks about it.
Hey, real quick, jump up to verse 10. I'm going to add on to that point you just brought out. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Read.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
I guarantee you, the same people that, oh, no, don't take them. Issachar just did work on their house, and they called them folks to not pay them.
Right.
That's how devious. These people are the devil.
Right.
He's like, man, I had papers. He was probably doing work in that neighborhood.
Right.
I guarantee probably because Trump's new order, that HUD deal or whatever, you got to maintain these communities. Who's doing that work? Northern Kingdom doing that work.
Right.
And Esau will let them do that work and then call ICE on them just to not pay them and get them deported.
Wow.
Can I give
Esau the devil, bro.
Yes.
Can I give verse 17?
Bring it out. Come on, bring
Verse
it out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 17.
Uh-huh.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Yep.
It says, if adversity come upon you, if ICE is called, you're going to find him there first.
He's
the enemy, Esau, the one that's supposedly crying for you. Keep reading.
Thou shalt find him there first.
Uh-huh.
And though he pretend to help thee,
Though he's crying and calling Gestapo,
yet shall he undermine thee.
he's trying to undermine you. He's the one that called them.
Yep.
The Bible is a true book, and y'all just saw it on the video.
Hey, pull up the video. I posted this on the captain's chat. So you could say what you want about Charleston White. He makes some points that are not. He got to watch what he say about the Israelites because, we are someone that actually is for him, and he don't even understand it. But he says something pretty profound in this, and I agree with him to a certain extent. But he just doesn't understand that the Israelites are everything that he's looking for. Now, watch what he says, and he references northern, particularly Mexicans. He gets pretty fiery in his speech.
They not building. Why wouldn't you go against these niggas today? They not building nothing. They destroying every woman they lay with. They disrespect every woman they sleep with, homie. Why you want to be on their side? Why? I don't love nothing about black culture. I'm 46 years old, my nigga. I can't think of nothing in life that black people can be proud of in 46 years. We ain't done one goddamn thing that we can be proud of and say I'm black and I'm proud. Not one thing. Nigga, for the longest I was Mexican on the inside. I eat Mexican food, I ain't date black women for 15 years. I hung with Mexicans. I watch how Mexicans bury one another. I watch how Mexicans trust me to come to their house because they know I ain't gonna try to sleep with their woman. The loyalty and respect that I got amongst Mexicans, homie. Nigga, I used to be jealous, man. My people can't do this. No, homie, I don't like this shit. I'm ashamed to be a black man. I'm a proud man. But nigga, when we go to grouping together, I'm ashamed.
So what he said is heavy. And I think that all of us, many of us, we were in sports. Many of us, we turned to the military. We thought it was our only way out. Many of us pledged in Greek fraternities, gangs. We did things because we were looking for unity. And I can understand where he's coming from about being ashamed to be black, but because the black culture is a destruction culture. But being an Israelite, being of the tribes of Jacob, that's something to be proud of. And this is where we do this show because Issachar is catching hell. And even in their hell, like I don't know if you remember, we was in Chicago,
I remember.
Them Mexican cats are unified.
Oh yeah.
These brothers are, wherever we go, Mexicans, they work together and they rent out fields, they do soccer, they cook together, they support each other, they build, they'll go and they'll and within a weekend or a week they'll remodel a whole house, they'll all come in and lose sleep. And they're setting a great example. Charleston White just said, Mexicans have that unity. We can learn something from Issachar. Yep. But one thing Issachar is going to learn later on, they cannot do it without the Southern King. They need our help. And we got to stand up. We got to show them that, listen, the reason why you're catching hell, the reason why you're going to go through these ICE situations and get deported and get treated the way you get treated, because God is calling you home. And that's what's going on. Play the rest of that video. I know we're jumping to it. Play the rest of that video because it goes on to tell you about several incidences in D.C. Remember, this is an Australian reporter reporting. He flew all the way from Australia to report this back to his country.
Whether they are here legally.
These are hardworking people. These people work in our neighborhood. They work in our restaurants. They're our neighbors.
You hear what she said? Yep. These people work in our neighborhood. How you think ICE knew where to pick them up at?
Right.
Yep.
They own tongue be there to fall on themselves. They tell them, they call them people.
I bet her name Karen too.
And that goes back to that Esau's forked tongue. Because if you really think about it, right? If that's an all Caucasian neighborhood and they know the Issacharites do great work and they're going to charge less money than, like, say, a Caucasian contractor. When you think about it, somebody, I think Mike or one of y'all said it. If they do all that work for you and you don't pay them, just think about the fear that they have over you. You better do the rest of this for free. I'm going to call ICE. Just think about this. A lot of evil behind their words. And what they do is they try to feign like they have sympathy and empathy for you. Yes. That's why I don't ever believe Esau. Give me that in Sirach. It says, never trust your enemy. Because just as iron rusts, so does his wickedness. And that's why what I realized is a lot of, I remember a Puerto Rican dude I used to know. Well, I wasn't really fried to knew him, but he would always say to me, hey, man, hey, Poppy, this and that. I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't no Poppy. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, I'm black. What are you talking about? I said, and you are too. Oh, no. When we say we're black, you are that term. It's a negative term. Mexicans are black, and they're going to find it out. Meaning they might not be super dark skinned, but they're black people. And they're going to realize that. They're going to realize that they're going to need their brothers. Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust somebody that have sympathy for you and say all these things, because the same person is the one that's going to set you up and report you. Read.
For like as iron rusted.
And guess what? Iron starts off smooth, shiny, rust-free. Read on.
So is his wickedness.
And what you're going to find out, it doesn't matter. Now, we pray that the Lord gives us Esau that will have mercy upon us and at least give us a little bit of rest in our captivity. We pray for that. But even them, at the end of the day, every one of them is going to rust. That's what he's saying. They are ingrained in their brains, in their DNA, to hate you. It's unfortunate. I wish it could be a different way, but that's the way it is. Playing with the video. We're almost done.
Hardworking people away, not criminals.
This is not making our city safe, pulling out workers who are an essential member of our community and being like, oh, that makes DC a better place. It doesn't.
Well, that really was stark to see it all unfolding in front of us. And the blunt actions of the agents really is a reflection of the orders from the very top. But for me, the really interesting thing was the visceral reaction from the community. Up the road, another moment of community tension.
Go home, ICE! Well, 15 minutes or so since we filmed that last raid, we've moved a few blocks away and you can see the commotion here. Locals very upset because this vehicle, inside it, are some of the ICE officials, the police officers who are doing the detaining. And clearly, for the locals, they do not want them there.
The whistles are a new community tactic to alert people that ICE agents are in the area. It's a couple of weeks now
Hey, real
since
quick,
President...
Mike, I didn't realize you had this much stuff. Hold up. Bring it out. Let's do this. Let's do, I don't want the CDC. We're almost done. Trump is actually sending the National Guard out to multiple cities. Pull up the one I think you had, Officer Micah. Yes. I think it says it number 10. Yes. Yeah, number 10. It's about Baltimore's mayor. So this is a black mayor. And what they don't understand is that, again, he has executive power. They can say whatever they want to say. Trump has already ordered Los Angeles. He already ordered D.C. He is going to send the national, and there's nothing they can do about it. So we're showing you that Donald Trump God is putting it in his spirit to do everything he's doing.
President Trump is threatening to send National Guard troops into other Democratic-led cities after ordering the Guard into Washington, D.C. One of his main targets is Baltimore. The president has repeatedly described the city as crime-ridden and today suggested the Guard could, quote, clean it up. Maryland's Democratic governor, Wes Moore, called the threats inappropriate, and he invited the president to visit Baltimore to see firsthand the progress the city and state leaders say they've made in driving down crime. The president pushed back during a cabinet meeting this afternoon.
Wes Moore was telling me I want to walk with the president. Well, I said, I want to walk with you too someday, but first you got to clean up your crime because I'm not walking in Baltimore right now. Baltimore is ahead.
I'm gonna tell you how he getting our people. Cause a lot of people, like the scriptures tell us, blessed is he that readeth. That it says this additional measures to address the crime emergency in the District of Columbia. That act, right? When you scroll down to E, God, people don't read. I know for time, I'm reading for time's sake. The Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, shall investigate any non-compliance with the crime prevention and safety requirements of HUD agreements. He put this in that bill that they call it like it's like the
big beautiful bill.
The big beautiful bill. It's like the sixth one down. You passed it. Scroll back up. It's on the first page. It's go back. It says additional measures to address crime, and that's it right there. That's the one. That's gonna spread throughout all these cities. He put it in there. And just click it. Click that one, and just go to E real quick. It's right there. It's like the go down where you say not B, C, E. Right there. And he put it. They put it right in there. But our people, we will not read that. Just read that one paragraph and watch how many. It's gonna cover. Everything Cat was going over, that's going to cover. It's going to get a whole lot of people.
The Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, shall investigate any noncompliance with the crime prevention and safety requirements of HUD agreements by the District of Columbia Housing Authority.
Here it comes.
Or any landlord in the District of Columbia.
Watch this.
These investigations shall include consideration of the provisions of such agreements that require housing providers to maintain safe, decent, and sanitary conditions.
He just said it in his video. I'm not going on there. That's not safe. That's a blanket statement he gonna use to go after a lot of our people. Cause who get HUD? Our people live off that stuff.
Yep.
But I ain't gonna go ahead. Real, finish it off.
Or to restrict tenants who engage in criminal activity that threatens health, safety, and the right to peaceful enjoyment for other tenants, including engaging in drug distribution, violent criminal activity, and domestic violence. The Secretary of HUD shall refer any findings of noncompliance to the Attorney General, federal law enforcement authorities, the District of Columbia Housing Authority, Police Department, and the Metropolitan Police Department as appropriate.
He put that in an executive order. It's not just gonna be for DC because everybody else gonna die. That's an executive. That's gonna go out through the world. Watch.
Hey, officer, they already have this in place when people lose their Section 8 vouchers
Yeah.
for this.
Oh, wow.
So
Exactly.
what they're doing is actually strengthening that and making it more of a federal law because that Section 8 is on a state level.
Wow.
And if you think about it, I think it was Ben Shapiro. He's a sharp-tongued Edomite. He said, he mentioned about there's a distinction between race and culture. So he says the problem with Black America is it's a cultural problem, and he's 100% right. Because if we change our culture to align with God, meaning we don't steal from each other, we don't lie, we police our own communities and govern through moral standards, and if we keep families together through not committing adultery, we work together according to like Philippians chapter 2 about bear one of his burdens. When we do these things, we can fix the morality of our community, which will in turn fix every other thing. And when Black people hear that, they don't know how to act because Christianity has 100% failed Black and brown people throughout the entire planet Earth. And this is the result you're getting. God is going to use Donald Trump to force our people to turn back to him. God, not Donald Trump. God is going to use Donald Trump to force all 12 tribes to turn back to him. That's what's going to happen. What time is it? 11:35? Right. Hey, we cut this. We started a little late tonight. Thank you for being patient. We are actually, we're going to get better and better every week. This is a new environment. We're working out the kinks. With that, we're going to get ready to go right to lower back attack, a short section. Stick around, y'all. Shalom.
You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end.
Israel, thanks for the warning, tech team. Most High in Christ bless everybody. It's all right. You can't be mad. I'm glad my office is not tech team. That's the worst office because when you do great, no one says anything, and you do bad, everyone. And we love our tech team. Do me a favor, Officer Solomon. Get me Leviticus 11 verse 46. So Bishop Nathaniel has brought this out about how nobody has a problem when it comes to these dietary laws. I don't think there's anybody in the Israelite community in IUIC that would ever argue. Actually, there's some dummies that actually think you can eat pork, some actually real retards. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 46.
Come on.
This is the law of the beast.
This is the law of the beast. Read on.
And of the fowl.
Talking about birds. Read.
And of every living creature that moveth in the water.
That's talking about the waters, rivers, streams, oceans, bayous, brooks, creeks. Read.
And of every creature that creepeth upon the earth.
And some of them that, like you got locusts and things and flying things. Read on.
To make a difference.
To what?
To make a difference.
Come on.
Between the unclean.
The unclean things that you can eat. Read on.
And the clean.
Right. This clean and unclean. Read on.
And between the beasts that may be eaten.
So this whole chapter is about things you can ingest, that you can eat. Read on.
And the beasts that may not be eaten.
So the end of the chapter is a summary about what he talked about. You can find the same thing in Deuteronomy chapter 14. Now go to the scripture about, there's two things I want to focus on. Is 11 and 7 and 11 and 11, about the water and the swine. Because this is where we fall when it comes to these laws right here. You don't find too many Negroes eating a skunk or eating a doggone possum. Well, some of them do. What you're going to find is we fail when it comes to seafood and when it comes to the swine. Read.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Now everybody says, duh, we know this. Really? If you know this, then you should know the next part.
And the swine.
And what?
And the swine.
Come on.
Though he defied the hoof.
Right.
And be cloven-footed.
And be cloven-footed. Read on.
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't do that. Read on.
He is unclean to you.
There's not one of you in IUIC that will ever say you disagree with that. And you know how I know that's true? Because you don't eat the swine. That's how we know you agree with that and you don't disagree with that. Now get the waters.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
These shall you eat of all that are in the waters.
So every water, whether it's salt, fresh, running, pond, brook, ocean, lake, read.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales.
God gives you 2 laws with which you can discern everything you can and cannot eat. It's a beautiful setup. Read.
In the waters.
Uh-huh.
In the seas.
Yes, sir.
And in the rivers.
That's right.
Them shall you eat.
So he tells you what to do. So the category, now we know we can have a sardine, we can eat tuna fish, we can eat tilapia, we can eat redfish, whiting, codfish, halibut. The list goes on, right? We don't eat mussels, lobster, crawfish, crab, snails, sea snakes. We don't eat that other stuff. We eat what God said. So nobody disagrees with that. You're not going to find anybody in IUIC with a big-ass catfish on your plate. Not even Severus would do that, or Captain Abiel. Not even those big backs would do that. But here's the point. Now we're going to go to some other dietary laws, and this is where you have a problem. This is where you have a problem. You believe you shouldn't eat swan, but you do not agree and bow down to this. Let's get the one that everyone hates to read. Leviticus 30, Sirach 30, start at 16.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 16.
The way that we're going to fix our health, you have to apply these scriptures. If you don't, you're always going to have fatty liver. You're going to be obese. You're going to have diabetes too, pre-diabetes. All these things can and will be changed if you apply, right? If you apply, I keep saying the same thing for years over and over, the same thing. Just like the dumb, stupid stores are putting Halloween stuff out right now as we speak, getting everybody's minds ready. You need to hear this every single day, you fatback lard asses. Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 16.
Listen to this.
There is no riches above a sound body.
Right. Come on.
And no joy above the joy of the heart.
So if you got a sound body, how do you get a sound body? Go to verse 25. It's going to tell you how you get a sound body. Read.
A cheerful and good heart.
That means you keep the commandments and you care about your health. Read on.
Will have a care of his meat and diet.
So that's how you get the strong body. You have to take care of them. Why did I bring up at the beginning? Because you take a care not to eat catfish, mussels, oysters, crab, shrimp. You take a care not to eat pork, but you don't take a care about all the other dietary laws that God gave us to follow. You don't do that. And this is why you got problems. Some of you have been talked to for 5, 10, 15 effing years. Okay? Now, go to my favorite, Sirach 31, verse 15. Or 16, I think. I want to hear it. And then we got 2 videos and we're going to close out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 16.
Yep.
Eat as it becometh a man.
So eat, Leviticus 11, verse 46 and 47, they told you about things that may be eaten and may not. So this is a precept about dietary consumption and how you're supposed to. Now, obviously, we do know that when it says eat as it becometh the man, you ain't eating pork, mussels, and crab. So if you know that, and you know it's talking about eating precepts, how is it that we still have obese men and women in the body? How can we have obese men after this has been talked about for years? Because you don't apply these things. And we gotta fix it. Read.
Those things which are set before thee.
Now, you know it's not going to be pork on the plate, catfish, shrimp. You know that. Obviously, we know that, right? Read on.
And devour not.
Right. So one of the things is, when you devour, yeah, you could eat fast, but devouring is associated with, is gorging yourself like a glutton. A glutton devours things. Read on.
Leave off first for manners' sake.
Right, because if you are a overeater that just is engorging yourself, you have bad manners. Okay, read.
And be not unsatiable, lest thou offend.
If you offend, because when you become a fat slob and it is offensive. Why? Because let me tell you how it's first and foremost offensive. Every young black child that's got a big, fat, obese black mother, you don't think that child is embarrassed? Don't you think that little boy that's 8 years old would like to look up at his mom and feel good about his mom and good health? Mom got arms this big around that. You hurt some of your sister's feelings. Because you could be emotional things happen to you. Your boyfriend left you, this and that, and now you eat your way to a disgusting. Now black children that have obese mothers are embarrassed. I don't care how they say it's my mom, I love my mom. They do love the mom, but it's embarrassing when you have an obese mother. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to have an obese husband. It's embarrassing to have an obese wife, an obese brother. I'm embarrassed at the fact that some of you officers of 90 and captains are fat slobs. It's embarrassing. Read it again.
Verse 18, when thou sittest verse 17.
Yeah.
Leave off first for manners' sake.
Yeah.
And be not unsatiable, lest thou offend.
Right, because if you become unsatiable, you become obese. It's offensive to children. It's offensive to spouses. Read.
When thou sittest among many.
Right, so you're around a bunch of people, get ready to eat. Read on.
Reach not thine hand out first of all.
Why? Because you're so used to feeding your fat self. Read on.
A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured.
Nobody argues with Leviticus 11:7. Nah, brother, I don't eat pork. Okay, great. But then why are you 150 pounds? Even being 30 pounds overweight is disgusting. I ain't talking about big muscles and you got a flat stomach and you're 30 pounds heavy, because that's all muscle and you work for it. That's not talking about that. You got 30 extra pounds of fat. You got a big gut and you can see you got one. Read it again.
A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured.
This is talking about not a child, a man. You do not need a lot of food. And I'm going to give you advice. No man should eat more than once, twice a day at the most. And that includes snacks. If you big fat giant ones, eat once a day. Whole foods, high protein, and strength train. Calorie deficit and strength train, and eat whole foods. Watch what happens to your body. Okay, read on. We almost done.
And he fetcheth not his wind.
You all got a damn farting and burping and all kind of, because you don't give yourself time for your digestive system to work, because you ate 3 meals and then 4 snacks. Well, I only had an apple. That counts as a meal. I only had 2 cookies and a glass of milk. Well, that was in between lunch and dinner. You don't need all that. That's stupid. Read.
And he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
You'll find that a lot of your indigestion and other diseases, irritable bowel syndrome, and other things that happen to you with your digestive system can go away through the absence of food, aka fasting, intermittent fasting, by eating less times per day. And get the part of moderation. We're going to go to the videos. Please. Last scripture. Moderation. Sound sleep come. It should be right there.
Verse 20. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating.
So a lot of us have poor sleep. The way we fix it is with moderate eating. Now, it didn't say moderate eating replaces very little sufficient. They work together. Read on.
He riseth early, and his wits are with him.
So if you want to be sharper, more aware, more fit, more quick to get up, eat moderately and eat very little is sufficient. Do these things and you're going to find your reaction time, your awake time, everything is going to get better. Everything. I promise you that. You got to apply it. Read on. Okay, that's it. Now we got 2 videos. Thank you for sticking around. It is a new setup. It's a little awkward tonight, but we're going to get through it. Pull up Now, hey, listen, fat people, and when I say fat people, are liars. I really mean fat people lie. Like to the point where I don't believe, and this is me, I don't believe anything fat people tell me. I think you're all a bunch, I truly believe that obese people, there's a gene associated with lying that you have that is stored in your fat. And I believe fat people lie. Mainly the men. The women are a little bit more conservative liars. But fat men are. Here's an example of a big, fat, giant lard ass being checked by a medium-sized giant lard ass. So a big, giant, super lard ass is being checked by a regular, medium lard ass. Commence to play.
You weigh, Fuzzy?
I weigh about 2.
That's no. No, that's not. Don't even say that. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. How much I'm almost 300. He ain't weigh 2 nothing. How much you weigh?
Pause. So the brother in the black hat, right, with the chain on, that dude is, he is, them dudes are short, by the way. He is morbidly obese, the big fat one with the chain. He about 50 years old. The younger one, he probably about 35. He is he probably about 400 pounds. And one thing that I like is that when a fatback lard ass hears a lie from a bigger fat lard ass, he will use that time to correct the fatter one. And I like it. Play it again.
How much you weigh, Fuzzy?
I weigh about 2.
That's no. No, that's not. Don't even say that. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. How much I'm almost 300. He ain't weigh 2 nothing. How much you?
That was it. That was short. Okay.
Hey, Cap. You
What?
know that the one in the black, that's Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy?
Yes, sir. That he was a rapper back in the 90s, I think.
Okay, Trick Daddy. Well, Trick Daddy got Fat Daddy. Now, hey, this is funny. So this is what they call he pushes the doctrine of a doctrine known as fatophobia, which I believe some of the fat captains tried to push. We had to destroy it. And now this guy is a colorful. I think this gentleman actually perhaps may be a Leviticus 18. But nonetheless, there's chance for repentance. But we're focusing in this video with this doctrine called fatophobia. Play.
Losing weight because you want to feel better, be in less pain, be healthier, all of these things, that's fatphobia.
Shut up, fat ass.
Pause. Now, this is a breath of fresh air that this gentleman is what I would call an upper echelon fat shamer. But notice that there's a real doctrine out there from this new generation that talks about it's fatophobia, meaning that we're supposed to accept the fact that you're lethargic, lazy, disgusting, a calorie-consuming maniac, and that now you want bigger seatbelts on the plane and other things, and we're supposed to actually make you feel good about being a disgusting, medically disabled individual. Now, this gentleman is very refreshing. Play.
Shaming people more, people start losing weight and living a healthier lifestyle. Why are we still normalizing obesity? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Listen, over at my website, we sell this t-shirt.
Now, this gentleman, it's too bad we couldn't send him a flyer. And maybe he's northern. I don't know if he's northern. But fat shaming saves lives, and this is something that I've been doing for about 10 years. What we would like to do eventually is not to be able to have to fat shame anybody, because we don't want to destroy our brother. If we get to the point, brothers and sisters, where you can't fat shame nobody in IUIC, then that's when we're really doing something. But this is why the leaders, I really have to look at my rank. As a captain, we have to fix ourselves first. As an officer, you have to fix yourself first. As a soldier, as a man of valor, man, how can you comfortably, with all the tools and resources you have and knowledge you have in the scriptures, be fine with being a fat or obese person? It makes no sense. You got to fix it. And if you're fixing it, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Play on. We're almost done.
Lives.
Since I've started making fun of fat people, I have gotten so many new people to start going to the gym and changing their lifestyle. Everybody gives me shit for fat shaming, but guess what? It's fucking working. So get off your ass, stop shoving Twinkies in your mouth, and go to the fucking gym, you unhealthy sack of shit. Fuck
now,
outta here.
I don't like his swearing. I believe we can get through without swearing. Like I understand his frustration, but if you say you're a big fat back giant grizzly bear looking lard bear that's so fat if you jump up in the air you get stuck and we need 2 crowbars and a can of PB blaster to get you down. That has a similar effect without saying SHIT or FUCK. So we gotta, I like his energy, but I really think he's using too much vulgarity. You can fat shame without the swears, and I'm a proponent of that. So listen, it's almost midnight. Thank you for sticking around. Listen, at the end of the day, by Men's Conference 2026, we're not going to have no more fat men. And all the fat lard asses who decide not to get to the green, you're going to be sitting in the chair, counting chairs, rearranging chairs, bringing real men, cold towels that come back from camp. Those are going to be your jobs. That you're going to be a trooper to go out to camp, to go out to battle in the spirit. You are going to keep the health of our nation. So with that, we say shalom. Thank you. Shalom.
Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, first day in a new environment. We appreciate everybody. We're going to get better as we get acclimated to our new scene. We appreciate y'all. We're going to get ready to cut out. But before we do that, we're going to plug the Booster Club. Why is it important? Because without your charitable free will offering and donations, we cannot do what we do. And that's traveling 12 tribes worldwide. Missions are going out pretty much throughout the year. And you could text GIVE to 646-982-3858, or you can hit that PayPal Q code? QR code, thank you. And you can make a donation through PayPal. And we can never say this enough. Deacon Malachi brings it out all the time on the main class. We need your help, and we're going to keep pushing this truth until Christ returns. So with that, we ending, well, a little later than I wanted to. All praise to the Most High. Tune in next week, Precept upon Precept. We're your hosts. I'm Captain Shem, y'all.
Officer Micah.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Solomon.
Hey, next week, I think Solomon gave me a shirt. All praise. I forgot mine today. All praise to the Lord. We're going to get Solomon a shirt next week. Thank you, brother, for helping me out with that. With that, we say shalom.
You're never going to see this on any mainstream news.
This ain't what you want, this is what you need. Yeah, they made us slaves, hung our kids from trees. I never forget. Nooses on our neck, whipped us till we bleed. And they gotta get it. Hey man, call it Galatians 3:13.
You're now tuned in to Precept upon Precept.
Fruit so strange. Look at how low they hang. Oh man, took out the chains.